What is going on, guys? I've got my buddy Leon with me here. Say hi, Leon. What's up? Hey, how's it going? So anyway, Leon is my fiance's cat. Super cool cat. Maybe a little bit overweight, but anyway, he wanted to be part of the video, so he's part of the video. What to talk about? Well, first, what am I wearing? I am wearing a Tag Heuer Formula 1 from a couple of years ago. This is a chronograph version. This is the watch I talked about for a second in my last video, which was super fuzzy and super bad. And I might actually re-upload it or just delete it altogether. Anyway, I want to firstly apologize for not being around. Changed jobs, changed cars, changed pretty much most everything in my life, except for fiancés. And yeah, it took a lot out of me. So I was very busy, very stressed, and just didn't have time for an upload. So I apologize for that. I'm back now, and I haven't lost my interest. Even though I'm doing watches and jewelry for a living now, I haven't lost my interest in watches. In fact, I drove up to King Jewelers on the other side of town and picked up Revolution magazine. If you guys have not ever read Revolution, I mean, it's a huge magazine, and it's done by a gentleman named Waco. If you don't know who Waco is, you're missing out. Super cool dude in fashion. He's got another magazine called The Rake. Super cool dude in watches. Really intelligent gentleman, and really a guy that takes time out of his busy schedule to talk to the little nobodies in the watch community like myself on Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. So yeah, I had a couple of conversations with a guy. He seems like a genuinely decent dude. He did a Talking Watches with Hodinkee a couple months back. So if you're kind of curious about his watches or who he is, what he's all about, you can pop on their site and check that out. It's just amazing collection of very original pieces. What are you doing? You look at my knee. I don't quite understand that. So, but yeah, the reason I brought Revolution up was this this spring 2018 edition has a whole write-up on SIHH, and you know, I've been asked to do well, I was asked to do an SIHH review, and also we were going to do a Basil daily review kind of thing, and it just didn't pan out because of flip-flopping with jobs and cars and houses and stuff like that. So you know, everybody's kind of covered it, so maybe I'll do a combination SIHH and Basil kind of wrap up at some point, but probably I mean, all you need is other watch channels and a Revolution magazine, and you kind of have it covered. But yeah, let's talk about this guy. Let's flip down here, and not on my cat, but let's flip down to the different angle and check it out. Okay guys, so someone asked me to, quote, lose the rocks, end quote. So I'll do this review not over rocks, but quite frankly, I like the rocks. So like, if you don't like the rocks, don't watch, because they're coming back at some point. Anyway, so this is a couple of years old. One of the easiest ways to tell on the Formula 1s if it's a 2017 or newer Formula 1 is the spring bars. If you cannot see the end links where the spring bars would be connected, then it is an earlier model. So they started, I believe, 2017. It might have been 2016. They began doing a more traditional case. This case has the hidden end links, You can see on the side how that still is just straight in. So that's one of the biggest giveaways. This is the chronograph version, obviously, in the reverse panda, which I love. And I actually picked this up. My Omega that I really like a lot, I sent off for service. I actually sent it to Omega, so I'll probably see it in about 10 years. But anyway, sent it off for a full service. You know, I ended up getting a little water on the dial, so we're gonna update the whole thing. New dial, new bezel, full polish, new seals. It'll come back like it's brand new. So it's not enough of a vintage piece to really affect the value. So, and it's one I don't plan on selling. I toyed around with it for a second, but decided to just do that. So anyway, back to the Tag Heuer. Things I like, things I don't like. So I actually really like the black and silver combo, obviously. One of the things lacking on my Speedmaster, I feel, is the black bezel. So it just really sets off the dial. This is a larger piece. It's well over 40 millimeters. One of the things I don't care for is the plasticky feel of the pushers and the screw down crown. However, one of the things I do like is that it does have a screw down crown. That makes me very happy. So it is a little more water resistant through the crown. You're not going to get watered down that tube very easily. One of the other things I love is this bracelet. Fantastic bracelet, and for its age, it doesn't have a lot of stretch yet, but I tend to like bracelets that have stretched out slightly just because I feel like they're more comfortable. It has some desk diving scratches on the clasp, and it's a fairly traditional clasp with the locking piece with your Tag Heuer emblem. I'm not going to go ahead and lock. And then the clasp, or the bracelet, the other side, same thing. We have a little stretch in it, but super, super comfortable because of that. And actually the sculpted or sort of scalloped case makes this thing extremely comfortable as well. This is actually one of the most comfortable watches I own now. Very surprised, didn't plan on picking it up. Has a screw off case back, so you know, to access that, and I have gotten in there and verified that it's genuine and original. And it is a Swiss quartz timepiece. It is a Tag Heuer. So the reason I did that is I actually found this at a pawn shop. I've had a lot of luck at pawn shops, believe it or not. So I don't know if it's just my area or I'm just lucky, but yeah, found it at a pawn shop for a price that was very good. The day after sending my Omega off, so I was sort of itching for a watch. So no, you know what? I take it back. I found it the day of sending my Omega off because I had nothing on my wrist and it was driving me crazy. So you can see the tick of the large chronograph hand and also the seconds hand at 6. That's fine. You know, it's a quartz piece. I don't mind the tick, and actually using it as a second hand, I kind of like as well. You know, some of my pieces I won't use it as a second hand because it wears the movement too quickly. But this one I got a really good deal on. I use it as a daily driver. So yeah, I don't like the term beater. I hate the term beater because it to me it takes away from the timepiece. If you call it a beater, you're basically saying I don't care about it. So this is my daily driver. You know, this is the timepiece that I wear on a regular basis when I'm at work. So I like that better. So if we get a little bit of a look on the side, you can see there is an embossing on the screw-out crown, a Tag Heuer emblem, which is pretty cool. And if we put it on the wrist, if I can do this without hitting the camera, if we put it on the wrist and lock this down, you can see it fits quite nicely. I have removed 1 or 2 links per side. And other than the desk diving scratches, it really doesn't have any. There's a slight wear on the top up here, but and actually a slight wear on the corner here. But other than that, very content with it. And you know, I know there's a lot of people out there that do not like Tag Heuer. They like Heuer previous to Tag's ownership, but yeah, I tell you, I think that's you know, every company has stuff that maybe isn't up to par. Tag Heuer is definitely one of those companies, just like pretty much every other company. Pretty much every company has an ambassador that maybe people don't absolutely love. And you know, Tag is guilty of that, but you know, it draws attention. You cannot tell me that you don't know who Tag Heuer's ambassador is, purely because of the internet making fun of it. But you know, there's the old adage that there's no bad publicity, right? And I tend to agree with that. That was kind of a genius marketing, because you know, wow, you know, the people that had no problem with it may not have said anything, but the people that did said it like crazy, and there were Tag Heuer pictures everywhere, and still are. So and we have to remember that Tag Heuer also is more of a price point luxury brand. You know, they start around $1,000. You don't find that with Rolex or Omega or Breitling or any of these others. You just don't. So there's that as well. So overall, I'm very, very happy with it. Haven't had any problems with it yet. All the functions function as they should. The bracelet, as I said, is super, super comfortable. You can find these, I see these on eBay now for $500 or $600. I think it's well worth that price. You have your date at 4, which some people may not like. They're used to having it at 6 or 3, but I actually like it at 4. And I like that the date is white. Some people have a problem with that because they say it takes away from the aesthetics. And that may be the case, but you have a date to read the date, correct? So having it white, we know, hey, it's the 11th. Boom, right there. So I like that. We do have a flat crystal. I would probably prefer a slightly bubbled crystal if I were designing this piece, but I'm not, so very happy with it. So yeah, that's my Tag Heuer, guys. And I guess that's my update for today. I hope you've enjoyed David Gilmour in the background. Listening to a David Gilmour concert. Love the guy. You know, aside from the arguments from the members of Pink Floyd, you have to admit that there's some fantastic musicians. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Hope you enjoyed this update. I'll be back more often. And I'll, of course, keep buying watches. So we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I am already seriously missing this Omega Speedmaster Date Automatic. So I can't wait to do a review of their workmanship once I get it back from Omega. Stay tuned, guys. Okay, hope that was a little better than last week. So be sure and like it if you enjoyed it. Subscribe, comment, yada, yada, yada. You know the drill. All right, guys, have a great one. Bye-bye.